Let's try that now. Okay, so One Silent 1-1, Miss Misery, Thin Breas, Squid Kittens, Bad Wolf, all back. Ezra made a deal with Strahd to go at least check out how he might bring back his mother, which so happened to be out. Like, out, like, limbo. Sigrid's in a guest room at Ravenloft. Dantiir and Toren have just met up with Alina Vaduva, a werewolf who they rescued way back in the campaign, who's there to say that she needs their help save her new husband from Strahd's capture. Anna's at the gate of Kresk, wherein she's made a deal with these not-so-great werewolves. Say they'll take her and the rest of the group to Castle Ravenloft under Strahd's orders to be dealt with, because they did just take Irina away from Strahd's clutches forever, which was frustrating. Castle Ravenloft has launched into the air, careened around the valley, and landed near the southwest, somewhere near Mount Gacus, in the very cold foothills past the Solenka Pass. There's no villages there, but Toren was told by the revived Glovia Falanescu in her flesh golem body that there's great power in that area from an amber temple. And Toren and Dantiir are going with Alina over there to the entrance of Kresk. Alright, so hopefully that got everybody caught up. Sorry you weren't here for all the silent original first part. Imagine it was incredible.
It was so good.
Yeah, Sigrid threw her couch out of Ravenloft.
There was pyrotechnics, there was a dance number. It was great.
Alright, so Dantiir and Toren heading south to the gate. Dantiir, anything you want to be finding out?
He's basically just wanting to know, like, he wants to know more about, like, how the power struggle went down. Like, how many people were upset when her husband got taken away, that sort of thing, like, specifics.
There was a significant number. They're all dead now.
Okay.
Her husband...
Unsurprising given the whole he's a vicious leader bit, but, you know.
Yeah. It would have been between Kirill and Emil, and Alina's very sheepish about this part, but under Kirill's leadership, they, as a werewolf clan, occasionally take children from the villages, and they have the children fight in pits. And the survivor gets bitten and turned, thus strengthening the pack.
That sounds horrible.
She agrees. It's definitely Kirill Stojanovich's plan to infect the entire valley and just have the strength of werewolves roam Barovia. Alina is kind of a captured pawn at this point. She still has respect and some status within the clan, but Strahd personally locked away her husband Emil because he was having maybe a different opinion about the way the werewolf clan should be going.
Okay.
So, since you are, by Strahd's order, going into Castle Ravenloft, she wants to help you rescue her husband. Even if they can't take over or defeat the werewolf clan at this time, they can foment some rebellion and some safety for the villagers.
If we find him and somehow manage to free him, what is your plan? What is to stop what happened the first time happening again?
They'll run, they'll hide. They hope to find some safety in the North Mountains. She hears that there's just some talk that Strahd doesn't like going there. He does not like exploring that section of the valley. That there might be somebody living there who has caused him difficulties. He says, "Have you heard of the Wizard of the Woods?"
Have I heard of the Wizards of the Woods?
We've heard of the Wizards of Wine.
Yeah.
They say different person. They say he lives up there in the in the Svalak Woods north of Lake Zarevich, and just they'll go there, they'll hide, and maybe team up with this wizard.
Okay.
That's pretty much their only hope.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, it's super low chance of success. That's
Yep.
all right. Let's see. You guys meet up with Anna at the gate. So Anna, there you are. You've had problems with all of your. What would Anna be holding as a devotee of Sunni that would be made of silver?
Well, she likes gold, so I don't. Well, she have like she's like a silver dagger or something that we were given.
Very true.
Yes. Let me see.
All right. So with that, at least the silver dagger, after being bitten and cursed with lycanthropy, as a paladin, Anna is like familiar with the dangers of fighting werewolves, and immediately, as the curse flows through her, that silver dagger is just nauseous to even just smelling it out in the open.
She would probably throw it as far as she could from her.
Okay, it burns as you touch it, and it goes good 30 feet.
Would we be coming back in time for Dantiir to see this?
Sure, you just see Anna go yeet, and then there goes a silver dagger that way.
If it's along the way, I'm definitely going to grab it and add it to my sizable silver dagger collection at this point.
Sure, Dantiir smells terrible, Anna. He's like, you're going to throw up just looking at him.
I have like
at
least 5 silver daggers at this point.
Yeah, I just vomit all in front of him.
Yeah, okay, that's
prestidigitation.
Perfect.
Clean it up.
Hey, if you're not,
you okay?
You wouldn't last too long in show business if you didn't have that.
Yep. Are you okay?
You smell so bad. Like really, can you? Oh God, can you just go stand, like over there?
Let's see. Does prestidigitation?
Does it make a good smell?
Yeah, can I make like an overpowering smell that's not like bad, but just like really like garlic? Can I like blot out the smell with even stronger smell?
Yeah, sure. You can make it an odd odor. What would you do?
Garlic, definitely.
Okay.
Just this overpowering smell of garlic.
There you go. Now he smells like a spice rack.
Ugh, that's...
Is this better?
I mean, not really, but now I really want some spaghetti.
You win some, you lose some. Welcome to Barovia.
Sometimes you vomit because of silver daggers. Sometimes you want spaghetti.
All right,
really
so Alina is definitely more on the silent side as she and Dantiir and Toren catch up to you.
Isn't she the one that bit me?
Yeah.
Did you see her changed? Would you know that, or?
Yeah, she's got white hair and white fur.
Do I know that she's the wolf though?
100%. She said like, "Oh man, sorry about the bite."
Alina. Like,
oh, sorry.
Look at her. Like, what?
The bite?
Yeah, she bit me.
Are you like?
Dantiir takes one step forward, and just the silver comes back.
Oh God!
Yeah. Okay.
Hey. Okay. I probably don't throw up that time.
I got rid of remove curse because it never worked. I don't have it. It's okay.
All right, cleric, paladin, and bard. You all know what that is. I'm gonna have that in canon for Toren. And it's just like, whoops.
I guess you aren't useful, are you?
Alina just kind of says like, sorry again. And Kirill, who's there, is like, are we done? Ready to go? The castle's at least come to us. It's not going to take us too long. Just head south for a couple hours.
Does it normally fly? Like, is that like a...
I mean...
Kirill kind of spits into the snow.
Where I come from, castles don't fly.
It's been doing that.
Mm-hmm. It does whatever the Count wants it to do. He's the ancient, he is the land, you know?
Yeah, we know.
with all of you gathered there and kind of assurance that you're not going to cause too much commotion, the Kirill will call back all the wolves from running around Kresk, and they'll just be kind of honor guarding behind you as they lead the path down south. This will take you close by, though they want to give a wide berth to the Wizard of Wines. But what do you want to do?
I want to stand as far from... Well, doesn't... Toren, you have silver too, don't you?
Mhm.
I have 0 silver.
Your
okay.
mace is silver.
Oh wait, my mace is silver. That's right. Everything
wait.
else is silver. Oh, and my holy symbol.
Oh, good. I'm not carrying any silver coins. I was gonna... So I'm going to stand as far from Dantiir and Toren as I can.
Okay, you got mostly wolves for your sidekicks, and no, I take it back. The 2 werewolves, Kirill and Alina, will be by Anna, and then Toren and Dantiir, you've got more of a wolf parade behind you, as they also can't really stand the silver weapons that you've got.
Knew this
That's
would come
fair.
in handy.
Yeah, I thought they smelled bad on the inside, but all right.
I'm gonna keep my eyes out to see if I spot any of the were-ravens.
There is, in fact, one were-raven following overhead. But you can tell because you did spend some time with them, you think this one might be the oldest brother. Because of a green feather that he has kind of wrapped around one of his legs.
Does this little trek count as any sort of rest?
I thought you said you were getting a long rest.
Yeah, we're counting this as a long
Okay.
rest.
Oh, sublime. Okay, well then I
mean,
can fix you.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get back. We'll get back to that. All right. So you're taking a long trek, a couple of hours south, and let's see what's happened over there in Castle Ravenloft. So Segrid, you're up there in a guest room on one of the high spires of Ravenloft. The recently turned vampire Nimel Briarbone was finally kind of wept himself to sleep. There's a breeze coming in from the broken window from the duvet that you tossed out. And yeah, I think you might have smashed one of the vampire spawn who was crawling on the outside of the castle while you were doing that. You know, two vampires, 1 stone.
Accidentally.
So it's getting kind of chilly and windy in here, but what do you
I've
do?
got my furs, I'm fine.
Yeah.
How far did we travel to get to that room from the dungeons?
From the dungeons, you got there about 3 different levels, and you're pretty sure that you can get yourself back. The castle Ravenloft is entirely open to you from what the Count made mention of. He just wanted you and Ezra to make good decisions, as he had offered co-rulership of Barovia to you, as he confessed that Dantiir and Toren just weren't up to snuff. The idea was that he was going to have royal blood take over, but maybe it's got to be non-royal that does so. People who had to work harder.
Okay, so Sigrid's gonna go for a walk. She's going to she's not even gonna act like she's sneaky or anything like that. She's just walking like she owns the place. She's got her bitch face on.
Okie doke. She heading up or down?
She's heading down to the dungeons.
Okay. So off by the lounge, of course, you are... as you're leaving, kind of Nimel wakes up and says, where are you going?
I'm going for a walk. I've been told I have full reign of this place.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to come with me?
Yes, please. I don't know where Aya is, but we might run into her, and that would be more comforting too. And I know you, and I don't really know the other people in the castle yet, and there's so many of them, and they're kind of scary.
Fine, just keep up.
Okay. He picks himself up off the floor and just kind of like dusts his stuff. It looks really nice, but his face is kind of pathetic.
Yeah. And Sigrid's, again, she's got all her gear on her. That wasn't taken away. But she just has it stowed. She's not taking out any weapon yet.
Okay. So everything that is there on the high towers. As you make your way across, there's different rooms of libraries and feasting halls. You know that there's one section that must go to Strahd's bedrooms, to his treasuries, to his kitchens. There's even like a very small, I say small, but it's larger than any of the churches you've been to. There's though that section, Nimel does warn that the stairs have been like broken for a while and it's not in good repair.
Okay.
As you are getting through mid Ravenloft, a dusky skinned elf in kind of like a butler's uniform comes upon you in the hall and asks very much, it's like, what are you doing out here?
I've been told I'll be able to go through the castle as I'd like. Lord Strahd himself told me that. So I'm walking.
You do not need to tell me what my master has ordered. I know this. Just know that I will be keeping... I am to keep an eye on things in the castle while my master is attending other duties outside. And you do know him as Rahadin, the dusk elf manservant. He had brought you in the last time when you were all together as a group. Where are you going?
Walking, exploring. I've only been here once and it was quickly on my way out. However, there is a window broken in my room. I would greatly appreciate it if you had someone repair it. He's not smiling whatsoever, but he does look up, and you think that he might be listening or something. And after a moment, he kind of grunts and then snaps his fingers. And where there had been another corner in the hallway coming up, there is now a shuffling zombie, very clearly, who is coming with very old and matted furs, and you can see that it's actually missing one foot, and it's walking along with a stump. And as it comes up to where Rahadin and you all are, he does tell it in Elvish a few words, and point to the stairs where you'd been coming from. And you see it kind of look up those stairs and just utter a low and start stumbling in that direction. It picks up some stone, some wood, and you see just this very low-hanging hammer that's just dragging down its pants in this back seat, and it's just heading in the direction of your rooms. I think that I will be accompanying you on this tour, if you will. Make sure that if there are any further repairs, I might affect them as such. Of course. Well, Nimel doesn't know the place as well as you do. How about you start showing me around? Apparently I'm going to be here for a while.
He looks you up and down, gives a slight sniff, and says, perhaps we could go to the baths first. Or would you prefer the study? I hear that there are primers on alphabets. Perhaps you could learn numbers. We start with 1s and 2s. He drops down his pointing finger and is left with a rather rude gesture.
I suggest you'd make note of something. I may look this way because it is my parents' culture. It is my culture. However, I am educated because I come from one of the best families in my valley. So don't you dare, for 1 minute, treat me in any other way. Do not treat me as if I am below you, because I can guarantee that I am not.
Give me an intimidation check.
Using strength?
Yeah, sure.
She's just trying to be scary. So I can't roll that with my regular one. I just guess roll a strength check, say it's charisma.
Yeah, do you have training in intimidation?
Wait. No, I don't.
I'm
Okay.
not proficient anyway, so I'll just roll straight.
Okay, just roll straight.
I was hoping. I forgot. Why am I rolling this? Fuck.
Oh, 1 second.
Yeah, no, I got nothing. Played my other game yesterday where we use physical dice, so I was looking for one.
Mine right next to me, just in case. You never know.
Rearranged my spells so I'm more useful.
Yay! Can you remove curse at any time?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the curse and its
Right.
strength and how long and
I was gonna say, like, could you
It
go
will-
like years and years as a werewolf and then all of a sudden remove your curse?
As long as you resist it, I believe so. Yes. Or it might be something where, like, if it's a werewolf made by bites, you can, or as opposed to one that's born.
Yeah, something. All right, Segrid, what did you get? Oh, I can't hear
Oh,
you.
you're muted.
Using strength, I rolled a 16. Just look at d20 there. Roll 20 there. Make
Oh, that's
it a-
fantastic. I rolled a 15 against. So, that's...
Nice.
there is... Tell me how you use your strength to put this manservant in his place.
I just...
Yeah, we're talking something physical. Some physical's got to happen.
Yeah, she squares up and grabs him by the two lapels and just pulls him right in.
Okay. All right. Secret's the tallest person in this group, I'm pretty sure. So,
She's
of anyone,
5'10", I think.
that is the tallest person in this group.
Yep.
All right. Rodin's a bit taller than that by a good half foot, but Secret pulls him down to eye. And Rodin is the one whose eyes break and just kind of very low says, "Very well. Where would you wish to visit?"
Take me to the library.
Okay. The study is going to be in Strahd's chambers, or very close to them. He kind of has his own personal library. When you go in that direction, it's just one more level down. You pass a smaller dining room than the one that you had initially met Strahd by. This one seems more personal. There's a cake, in fact, that's old and molded and multi-tiered and just broken, as if something had been smashed into it. And as you pass through this room, you can see that there's a couple of very fancy instruments hanging about this room, as if in decoration or trophies. There are numerous cobwebs, though, covering them. And as you pass through, Radin kind of motions for you to pass around the north side of the table. Nimble has taken just a curious look at the cake and took one step closer to the south side where it is, when there is a incredible scream and a body comes flying out of the cake, breaking most of it, and runs screaming out a southern window, which does not break as this phantom leaps through, and you can hear its Wilhelm scream just cry out the castle until it...
An undead bachelor party stripper.
Raiden says, "A former guest who unfortunately remains as an echo. This is why I recommended the north side of the room, and kind of gives Nimble a stern look, who's suitably cowed. And as he leads you around, you see a very decorative study. There's a great fireplace there. There is a door to a bedroom, and though the doors are only slightly open, you hear the sighs, and they're quite winsome, from what must be some kind of young lady over there rolling about. But Rahadin kind of promptly ignores it and shows you this place lined with ancient books and tomes, and their leather covers are just top to bottom in this place. There's an illuminated portrait, carefully rendered to the exact likeness of Irina Koliana. And there's some sort of scrying pool, a brazier set up here in the middle of the room. No one else seems to be here.
I'm gonna go take a look at the scrying pool.
Give me, what do you want to investigate it with?
I
might suggest Arcana or History.
Yeah, I don't have any of those, but I'll try History.
I believe in you.
Ha!
All right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be so loud.
So with this natural 20 in History and no pluses, this brazier, you've seen this kind of in civilized worlds where they've got magicians and sages. They consult these for scrying pools. There seems to be it's a little tinge, like this is something you're more familiar with, that when blood is dropped into these kind of non-moving bodies of water, it tends to just muddy the waters a bit, if you will. So somebody has bled into this scrying pool, and it's warm, so it's been used. Of the things around here, you do note several alchemist tomes, bestiaries, strange beasts, even some books of exotic recipes and heraldries, military strategies, a couple of historical texts, and theologies. It's a good-sized library for a private home.
I'll look through the military strategies a bit, and then I'll turn to Rahadin and say, ask him, tell me about your master.
Noting that you're holding on to a historical text of military might. He was the greatest general of all time. I devoted myself after his complete rout of the Dusk Elf clans under the... he spits at this point. Under the former leadership of that traitor Belkis Cuthilion. When they betrayed Count Strahd von Zervich, he was completely in his rights to decimate them as he did. The strong should survive and rule over the weak. It is the survival of the strong that leads us to a greater world. You will not find a stratagem or a means of defeating the Count in here, though he's looked many times for those who would impress him so that he may pass on his role of leadership. If that ever happens, I suppose I'll assist whoever comes through with that. I don't think it will be within any of our lifetimes.
What, can I do an insight check on what he was talking about with the Death Skulls?
Sure.
Because I want to know his opinion on Strahd offering that guy's children the offer of ruling Barovia.
Sure. After that insight check, I'd also like a perception check. Both very good. Okay. Insight first. With the insight check, you, from conversation with Rahadin here, he has great disrespect for, a very low opinion of those who would show weakness. And those who have been defeated, they are weak. Some of the history within these books do have some recent additions, recent within the last 400 years. There was a campaign against the Dusk Elves of Barovia after they attempted to prevent one of their own from marrying Count Strahd, the sister of their king, King Belkis, was going to marry Count Strahd, and there was a faction that wanted to not give Strahd anything, even if it meant the destruction of one of their own. And in revenge, Strahd had, destroyed every lady dusk elf there was, and killed their king, or attempted to. There was, and the history's not as clear here, but there was an interruption that on the field of battle, there was a strange visitor of great power, some great mage, who Strahd fought to a standstill. Or at least a standstill for several days, to which point the mage finally was defeated, tossed off a waterfall, and Strahd was victorious. The rest of the Dusk Elves were not exactly well accounted for and went into hiding.
Mm-hmm.
That Strahd would offer the rule of Barovia to Belkis Cuthilion's children strikes Rahadin as insincere. That if the father wasn't able to foment enough rebellion or power to overcome Strahd, he doesn't see how the children would be any better.
Mm-hmm.
He does let you know that they eventually did track down Belkis Cuthilion, that he had escaped during that time of weakness when the mists had left, when the people around the valley had thought Strahd to be defeated by the wizard mage. And there's just a glee to Rahadin's face when he says, but they were all wrong. He came back stronger than ever, and the mists found Belkis Cuthilion, and they brought his dead body back, and they revived him with the sole purpose of having him watch his children fail. He's pretty sure that was Strahd's whole plan. And he's just gleeful in this. Like, he thinks, like, yeah, he should be shoving this in Belkis's face. He didn't get to enjoy it because Strahd was wounded at the time, but, that's just how it is now. He's not sure how you fit into this. He has heard reports of how you and Ezra and Anna and Toren Dantiir have kind of not been beaten all this time, all these weeks and months in Barovia, and he does give some begrudging respect for that. He doesn't think you have what it takes to rule Barovia, though. Certainly not in a mortal form. And he doesn't even think that a long-lived elf would be able to do it. Certainly somebody has to be supernatural. With that perception check, you see that your spit did not land on... his spit did not land on the floor. And instead is kind of like floating slowly at about knee height. Not near the brazier in the room, but near one of the couches. There's kind of a cleared space there. And the spit is just like kind of hanging in midair in one of the corners. So while we're on that, I'm going to go over to the Amber Temple, where Strahd von Zarevich and Ezra Pheras have taken a pony ride down and on Bucephalus, the flaming nightmare. And here we are, as Count Strahd von Zarovich dismounts and assists Ezra down. Welcome, Mr. Pheras, to the Amber Temple, a place of great lore and great power. I learned quite a bit here. Here's where we will find the power to revive your mistreated mother, if you decide to go that way. Ezra, what you think?
I have lots of questions.
This is a place of great answers, Ezra. Come.
Yeah, that's part of the questions. Like, why is this even here?
My teacher told me that though I am a ruler here in Barovia, unquestionably, there were other places where similar punishments had been placed upon people as unfairly as myself. My teacher says he came from one such place, and the Amber Temple here is a repository of various dark powers and objects of ill repute. These dark souls await here, locked, guarded, encased in sarcophagi of pure magical amber. And the entire temple that you see before you is, in fact, just covered in this orange-brown, 50-foot-high walls of faceless and hooded figures. And they seem to be standing in the hands forward and together in gestures of prayer. And in front of you, between the two innermost statues, there's a 20-foot-tall archway with a staircase leading down. Inside, I hope that we get a chance to speak with my teacher. He'll be able to show us the way to the resurrection powers.
He's still here?
Oh, yes. My master is very long-lived. Just, well, a little troubled.
Okay. Well, we're already here. Let's go see this guy about a dead body.
Okay. Going in, there's a couple of doors to the left and right of the hall. As you go by, it says, "Pay it no mind. Old guard rooms, nothing but rubble now." And you see a very wide balcony of black marble in here, with some railings shattered, and it's overlooking just this vast temple that's either been carved out from the inside of the mountain or transmuted somehow. This is so huge. This must be taking up a great portion of the mountain. The walls and ceiling are all covered in amber glaze, and, well, the whole gloom of it here is in a golden sheen. There's a set of amber doors closed at the west end of the balcony, and ahead of you there is a very, very large statue. It's standing between two black balconies, one of which seems to have crumbled, partially fallen. And the marble statue there is... It's so tall, and its hands are outstretched in front of it as if it's in the middle of casting a spell. Its face, though, including what must be some hood covering. It's just covered with a black void. Ezra, how's your vision?
He wears glasses. Not the best vision.
All right. So as you're coming in and maybe giving a squint, Strahd does cast light upon his brooch there on the front of his cloak. And so you get to see a bright glow of everything there. And so you can see everything within this front room. There's a set of stairs that descend into a grander part of the temple. And you see that statue in front. And though the light from Strahd's brooch reaches to most of the room, that face of the statue is still a very, very dark shadow. Bleaker than even the ceiling around it. So something is blocking that light.
That's not the craziest thing that I've seen since I've been here.
Let's see.
I am in way over my head.
If I recall correctly, and Strahd seems to be looking around left and right, and there are so many doors here, so many. It has been a very long time. My master's chambers should be... he's thinking about it, and he thinks that there is a way past the statue on the left, and you can see that there's like a broken set of doors there. Says we may need to fly. I wish Bucephalus could fit in through those doors and make it far more convenient. Mr. Pheras, do you fly?
No.
Well, this would make it just more convenient. And he places a hand on your shoulder, and you feel imbued with magic. And for your next couple of minutes, you have the ability to fly. About, let's say 30 feet or so.
Okay. Oh.
And it says, we may need this to travel. And so it's no problem at all for you, as Strahd kind of takes the lead, and he just flies off this balcony and leads away to the set of double doors over the broken balcony just to the west of that large statue.
Okay.
But as you are getting closer, you see something kind of terrible.
Oh.
There is a very large fireball heading very, very close in your direction.
Oh, cool.
And it's coming directly from that statue. So I need you and Count Strahd there to make a dexterity saving throw real quick.
Oh, fabulous. 13.
Wonderful. Okay.
And before Strahd fails his, it dies.
If only.
There's a thing. So that is something. The 13 is enough to save on this. And so as you are flying around, only some of your clothes catch on fire.
I'm tired of being caught on fire.
As am I. This will take a little bit of work. Who goes there? As Strahd pats out his own. Ezra, please take mark down about 16 fire damage.
Yeah, okay, sure.
And you see that the flames have also burned Strahd, but as he's moving around, you can see those burns just removing it from his... they're just disappearing off his body, and he doesn't seem to be making any motion for it. But as he shouts out, who goes there? There is a response from the head of that statue, from somewhere in the darkness. You are here without permission. State your purpose. He takes a look back at you for a second. I am here, Count and Lord of this land, to see my teacher, exetanter, do not bar our way or face the consequences. In response, there is another fireball.
Oh shoot.
So at this point, let's go ahead. Yeah, what's the airspeed of an unladen swallow? As Strahd throws a response fireball back at that head, Ezra, what do you want to do? He's kind of drawn the fire.
Is there like anything to duck behind? Like a pillar or...
You could get to the base of the statue if you wanted, or there's, because these are two balconies, on the balcony on the east side, that could probably offer some cover if you got underneath it.
Okay, I'll go to the balcony to get a little bit of cover.
Okay, doke. So as you fly past, you see Strahd and this statue, whoever's in there, exchanging fireballs. You see that there is, in fact, a door at the base of the statue, around the back of it, and you are out of sight of that shadowed head as soon as you duck under the balcony, and you can hear Strahd shouting. It's like, Ezra, I will hold them off from up here. I could use some assistance.
I thought you were supposed to be like the super ancient powerful guy. What's up with that?
I certainly am. But if you are going to wield magic great enough to bring back someone from so long dead, you're going to need to prove you are able to use such magic. This is a test, not one of mine, but seems to be good enough.
So I saw a door?
Yes.
I'm gonna try and run for the door.
Alrighty. So Strahd is taking most of the fire, so you're not going to need to be too stealthy, and you've got some flight. So let's see. This 40-foot tall statue has got this door, and as you go through it, there's a spiral staircase that you can fly all the way up to a stone trap door that seems to be just at the bottom of where this head is. And as you can see that part of this trapdoor is cloaked in darkness. This must be at the edge of whatever shadow covering is around it.
Okay.
So you know this is some kind of magic that's been keeping it dark.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
I don't have the spell magic. I just have counter spell. That's not helpful.
Series of bats.
You hear an incredible amount of bats outside the statue, flying through. It's like, go, my children of the night!
So, like, can I make out that there's a trapdoor, or is it shrouded and I'm just sort of, like, feeling blindly?
The way it seems that either the temple has shifted somewhat, like half of this door is shrouded in magical darkness, but you can see, like, at least half of an outline of it. So you know where a handle might be.
Can I just try and feel for it? Like, does my hand go through the darkness?
It goes through the darkness just fine, and yeah, you can feel a handle here. It looks like it's a stone trapdoor.
Okay, well, not very strong, but I'm gonna try and open it.
Okay, it's field of magical darkness above you.
Oh, cool.
And the voice is saying, like, who goes there?
No one.
All right, good job. What do you do next? Like, Ezra, take them out.
Can I like reach up and like, do I feel for like legs? Is there somebody, like a person in this darkness?
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Groping blindly. Okay, investigation. I'm 17.
That's pretty good, actually. Okay. There is a stone floor that you can feel up here. There's a couple of oh my, you feel like it might be clothes up here, or maybe like a bed, something, but then you do grab onto a leg.
Oh,
and it feels like something barefoot, and there's a kind of a yelp, and you do hear just like a bunch of bat squeaks, and it's just like, damn, bats! And then the darkness kind of disappears as you now see this old human with a long white beard, and he's got some glasses on, and you see just these burns on his face and arms, as well as several bloody bites. And there's at least 3 bats that are flying about him, put in a bite. But you've got him grabbed there by his foot. And yes, who are you?
hi, I'm Ezra. I don't know what I'm doing. I just figured I'd let you know.
Okay.
Apparently, we're here to learn secret dark magics.
I am guardian of this temple, and its dark magics are not for the unworthy to have.
Then I am here to prove myself. I've got you by the leg.
Yes, my hands are free. And then he points at you, and 3 silvery bolts of light pop out as 3 magic missiles head in your direction.
Can you counterspell magic missile?
You sure can.
Oh, I'm gonna counterspell that.
Dang. Okay, magic missile is not high enough to work against a counterspell, so that's level 3 and down. So those bolts just kind of blip out of existence just right in front of Ezra, and it's like, this is kind of used up a lot of spell slots already. Would you and he kind of like bats his face like, could I maybe interest you in, and you can see that though he's been able to see out and attack from within here, there are a few arrow slits within this statue head. The only escape route here is through the door where you've just come in. If I perhaps slipped past you, you think you might provide, say that maybe I died and melted away, some sort of magical means?
What? Okay. I'm confused.
Clearly, you are of some magical strength yourself. And between, well, you right here and the vampire lord outside, I am not quite up to the rest of this fight.
What would benefit me of letting you go?
You can, he's got these, he's gonna look around the room really quick, and it's like, here, you can have this, and he kind of grabs out of his jacket, and it's like, here, you can have a spell book, it's good for wizard things. He starts taking off his, like, very grayed out jacket. It's like, here, robe of many useful items. There's even, he kind of counts as he takes it off, 8 patches remaining. You can have these, and my glasses, here. And he takes these off, and they are these small gold spectacles with pink crystal lenses. It's like, here, you can have these glasses.
You know, I'm probably going to die, so sure. Yeah, okay. I'll just come up with an elaborate lie to say that I killed you.
That's... what will the lie be? Do I need to...
I grabbed your leg, and I shocked you to death, and then, like, your form sizzled away into dust.
Perfect, yes, I've got lots of dust in here. We can do this.
Yeah.
And he... he takes off his robe, he takes off the glasses, piles that onto there, and then it's like, all right, guess I'll be seeing you. And
no, because you're dead. I won't see you at all. I have to commit to this lie now.
Okay, and in your hand suddenly closes on a solid air around it as this person has turned themselves invisible and says, I will remember this. You are... what's your name again?
Ezra Pheras.
Right. It's Ezra Pheras. I got it. I'll get this. My name is Nephron. If I ever see you again, I will be in your debt. If I don't see you again...
I'm probably dead.
Probably, yes. I don't think that... don't think
that
that Vampire Lord is a very good person. It's...
You know, he's been really nice to me, and I'm confused about that. But
He's not been nice to me. And with that, all of a sudden you're gripping air, like real air now, because this old wizard guy has teleported out. And there is now a prestidigitated pile of ashes nearby. And a shouting count from outside is like, Ezra, are you okay? Are you alive in there?
Barely! It was very difficult! But you know, it's fine. It's all solved now.
You are truly a being of wonder, Ezra Pheras. Wizard battle, and you have tipped the scales.
He's just sort of like standing there with this pile of stuff, like just like having a minor meltdown. Just like, what is happening right now?
Okay. Roll me a perception check, Ezra Pheras.
Oh, okay. Yeah, perception. Oh, that's not great. Oh, hey, 16!
Oh, okay. There is, besides the spellbook down here and the robe of useful items and these hippie glasses, there is one more item here. It looks like it looks like a broken sword, because all that's here is the hilt. And it looks like it's either made of iron or some dark metal. And you would have noticed it and treated it as maybe junk, and wizards do that, and they have that sometimes. Except that it thought at you. It raged at you. And it does not like vampire lords, especially those named Count Strahd von Zarovich.
Well, now I'm interested in a sword that can think.
The feeling that you get back is that this sword wants to be picked up, and it wants to be used. It is a broken sword, though. There is no blade here.
Oh, that sucks. That's rough.
It feels a little consoled by that.
I'm just gonna whisper to like, I don't know how to use you or fix you, but I know somebody that might. I have a few ideas, so I'll keep you with me, and we can share on our hatred, I guess, of Strahd. Although I don't know, should I hate him? I mean, you hate him. He's just now talking to a sword, because what else is there? Just like, and he's like bundling everything else up, and it's sort of just like, I guess I go back down.
Okay. Well, as you pick up that blade, it is terribly angry at Strahd von Zarovich anytime you mention it, and it does want to destroy it. And you get the feeling anytime he says, anytime you think that it's a broken sword and it's missing a blade, it gets very angry about that. It really wants to be a sword with a blade. It really, really wants to be so. And as you go back down these spiral stairs, this wanting, this feeling, this passion just bursts. And when it does, it bursts with a blaze of light from this hilt. And you are now holding a very, very wide blazing sword of light.
I'm gonna try and hide it behind my back.
It grumbles. And then as Strahd von Zarevich floats down to meet you, the light turns off.
Just like try and tuck it like behind my pants. Just like just
Oh yeah, fits just like a big pencil bag, almost about that length. It's like, who was it in there, Ezra? Who was stopping us from inspecting this place?
At first it was super dark and I just grabbed a leg, and then the darkness sort of went away and it was like this old guy. He had like a really long beard and
He had the face. He had the face.
Yeah, he had well, I'm not good with faces, but he did have a face. There was a beard. Oh, glasses. He had these glasses.
Glasses.
He's like, so I was touching him, and so I just sort of, shocking grasped, and he turned to ashes, which is kind of weird. But weirder things have happened.
You turned him to ashes. This is excellent, Ezra. Most excellent.
Yeah.
And Strahd will be producing from one of his pockets a small box. It looks like a very ornate gold and green filigree, and he will open the box, and you can see on the inside it has a faint wisp of mist within it. This is something I had been planning on bringing to my master. He needs a little extra something in the morning to get going, if you know what I mean.
Like coffee?
Something a little stronger, I'm afraid. A fresh soul. Now that you've taken care of this guardian, I think it will be just the thing. Who was he to stand in the way of our progress? Here, take this, Ezra, and scoop together whatever remains that there were, and we'll offer this to my teacher. He'll be most pleased to have it.
Sure, I'll just go right back up there. I only need a little bit, because it's everywhere.
Oh yes, the souls will be most closely tied to any part of the body that's remaining. Okay. What do you put into this soul box?
Just some dust in the room. Just like put a little bit of dust in there. I think maybe, I don't know if I still have any like remains of those weird.
Yeah, you've been collecting body parts this entire game.
So I do have some body parts with me. Just like random, like.
It's a small box. You could maybe fit some fingers in there.
Yeah, and I'm also trying to like firebolt the fingers so they look kind of ashy. Do I have firebolt? I do have firebolt. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to like firebolt some of the fingers so they look kind of ashy and just like fitting in a box with the rest of the dust, and it's just like, sure.
Okay, real quick, as the sun sword is in your back pocket, just kind of grumbling and angry in that, roll me an insight check.
Okay. Oh, hey, I'm proficient.
Oh my, okay, 20 is very nice. So Strahd's very proud of you, clearly. You've done so good, so well, and just so happened to have a soul box that you needed to kill somebody to put inside. How convenient.
Vicious.
The sun sword is still raging about Strahd, super angry, wants to kill him, but you sense the sword is also a little bit relieved to be like with you up the statue and away from Strahd. That you get the feeling that it's afraid to be broken again.
Okay.
That Strahd was responsible for breaking its beautiful self. You get the idea of like this sword with a blade made of pure crystal, pink, beautiful, jagged crystal that was shattered, and this sword lost. and it doesn't want to be shattered again. So it does hate Strahd with an intensity like nothing else. It's also afraid for its existence. So if there was a sword that's afraid to die, this was it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to like console it and be like, listen, we'll get back. You'll get to. I don't even really know how to use you, so we'll wait until we get to somebody who can use you, and it'll be great. And then we'll do it as a team, you know, team effort. But I have to go along with this clearly obvious trap or something.
Okay. With that, then, the sword will quiet down, and so you do have the ability at any time to bring out the blazing sun sword with a thought. And it does act as a long sword. It does have, I think, a +2 to hit, and it does blaze with the intensity of natural sunlight. It can go in and out as at your command, and it doesn't like Strahd very much. If you are able to use a short sword, the handle works for you. It's just as light as anything.
I don't think I can use. Well, I don't even think I can use.
Alright, if Ezra wanted to try using it, then Ezra would just do it without proficiency.
So it'd be a +1.
There you go.
Because I -1 to strength.
You can use dexterity for that.
Oh, okay. Not as helpful, but a little better.
Okay.
Well, anyway.
With ashes and fire-bolted remains collected, Strahd's going to lead the way to a smaller section. There's a couple of phantoms that pop up, and they immediately disappear into the gloom when Strahd just kind of glares at them. And you are then in a meeting with a very old person who is moving with a hunched back, shuffling forward around this room that is quite dusty. And it's got ornate furniture, it's got exquisite rugs and decorative statuary, and there's lots of little candelabras on little small tables. But all this beautiful artifacts is kind of undone by the fact that everything in here is so thick with dust and cobwebs. And in just kind of shuffling over, you see this person in this hooded robe, and he comes closer to you, and Strahd kind of puts a hand on your chest, Ezra, and motions you to like maybe pause for a second.
He does like an awkward bow.
There are 2 points of red light peeking out from the hooded person there, and a voice asks, "Do I know you?" And Strahd motions for Ezra to give the box.
Not me.
Box. Ezra.
Yeah, he's like handing. He's like just like slowly handing it out.
Okay. The hands that come out from under the robe are skeletal, and they grab onto the box. The hood falls back, and you see this just animated skeleton with red eyes. And he grabs onto this box, and he opens it. And the wisps of mist floating out of it seem to be drawn into him. And if a skeleton could like snort or like hiccough, there's just this moment of where something doesn't seem to be going quite as smoothly. And Strahd kind of, yes, you see a look on his face, like slight puzzlement.
Taking a step back.
Yeah.
Subtly.
The skeleton in front of you does seem to have a little bit more command of themselves, and shakes his head and says, have you come to seek knowledge and power?
Still undecided.
Strahd kind of relaxes a little bit and breathes out. Says like, Ezra Pheras, this is my teacher, the great wizard lich Exathanter. He is a dark lord of his own right and commands the greatest library in Barovia, as well as the secrets of the Amber Temple. And you see the lich Exathanter kind of like nodding along with this, like, yes, my library. Yes, this is the temple. There's some hesitancy. Yeah. Just like, you have come seeking knowledge and power? And Strahd kind of sighs. Says like, I was afraid of this. He has his own curse, you see. I have been thwarted from being together with my eternal love, the deserved devotion I should have from Irina Kolyanovich. My teacher has been prevented from gaining any additional magical knowledge, cursed with no long-term and a problematic short-term memory here in the demiplanes of dread.
That makes sense.
Makes a pretty good tour guide, though. Professor Exathanter, we desire knowledge and seek power. May we see the chamber. And you kind of see Exathanter like nod again and says, you seek knowledge and power. And Strahd says like, yes, we seek knowledge, also power. Chamber, please. And Exathanter kind of nods, and there is a wave of a skelly boy hand, and one of the desks in here with candelabras just completely slides to the left, and there is a open stone door now revealed that leads to a room of great walls of books, leather-bound tomes, 20-foot-high walls, 30-foot-high vaulted ceiling, with a fresco that depicts angels being set ablaze. The black marble railing at the north part of the room encases a golden marble staircase that leads gently down and down. And there's just hundreds of well-preserved tomes here, embroidered rugs and chairs and lit candelabras filling the southern half of the room. There's a pair of bodies here, just lying on the floor, bloodied and broken, with their eyes shrunken and black, as if they've had their souls taken. The spell books here, Ezra, are, well, there seems to be something here of magic, of every school that you've ever heard of, and a couple that you haven't. The catacombs that Exathanter leads you down to in these vaults, as you go down the set of golden railed marble stairs. It ends in a room of amber-covered walls sculpted to look like tentacles, you might say. They are surrounding glyphs of kings and queens and pharaohs and sultans, and those persons are surrounded by bowing slaves, and the west and south and east walls have alcoves, and standing in each alcove is a tall, rough block of amber. It's well, in the south wall there's 2 cracks in the wall that have opened up, and you can kind of see other things in another room. And there's a couple of wooden crates there as well. The amber sarcophagi here are the ones that Strahd had described. And they, as Strahd explains, as Exetanter kind of repeats to himself in a corner, it's like, yes, knowledge and power. These are 3 great sarcophagi of great power. Strahd points out the one in the west, where he received a dark gift of the vampire. He gained his primal powers from that one. The gift of Tenebrius, he points to the east wall, was how his teacher became a lich. And in the south wall, he says, that is the sarcophagi of Zudun, the corpse star, master of death. This is the time of your choice, Ezra Pheras. Your mother was taken from you unfairly. You now have the ability to bring her back. Strahd waves in the air, and there is an image floating of that golden soul in limbo, from the scrying vision back in Castle Ravenloft. The power here in the Amber Temple is so great that you would be able to resurrect even one as far as another plane. I will assist in making sure that person can be brought directly here to be with you. I have some control over these mists to let people in and out, though of course not myself. We are here at the precipice, Ezra Pheras. What would you do?
Do you ever get like performance anxiety? This is he's like gonna like dig into his book and sort of just like casually pull out his not so much well used little Bible or Bible, like, you know, his book on Kellenvor, and he's just sort of like,
you're looking for the chapter of like, if you get a chance to make a dark deal.
If a vampire lord ever makes you an offer.
What would Toren do?
It says that like written in, Toren has written it on the front page.
In crayon, big letters.
Just wax crayon.
like most,
WWTD.
you know, most of it's got like little doodles where he sort of just like was doodling arcane runes and whatever because he wasn't paying attention. But like on the like the first page just after the cover, it just sort of like has written in his mom's handwriting like, remember your roots, sort of thing.
Okay.
So he's like gonna go like towards this, you know, amber statue, and he's just like holding the book with the written inscription, and it's just like, Yeah, this is a tough choice to make.
Mhm. There is a voice in your head as you approach the amber sarcophagus. It is thin, a little whispery, as if speaking to you from very far away or from very deep, deep underground. It whispers to you, I am Zuden, the corpse star. I am the master of death. However, very few know there is a price. Death is a veil which surrounds the soul. If you want to take it away, you have to wear it yourself. That's how I ended up here. But I can still share a little of that power with you. Just enough for you to make one very important decision. And you know this is coming from that amber sarcophagus, that great crystal in front of you.
How far away is the door?
The door behind you is, well, you've got a couple of choices. There is 15 feet behind you, the set of marble staircases that goes back up to Exithanter's library. You still have a flight spell on. That's about 30 feet up. There is also 2 cracks in the walls between all of these sarcophagi. And it looks like it might be a squeeze, but that's also an exit.
Like, see a little bit beyond the crack in the wall?
How's your vision? You can see a little bit beyond. It looks like both cracks lead to the same room because you're seeing like different angles of something. It looks like great heaps of treasure, of gold. You can see this off of Strahd's light from his brooch. There's also a really large eagle-headed amber statue in that next room. You can definitely see these sculpted muscles and just around all these treasure piles. It's maybe another 10 feet through that crack.
Okay. Are both the dead guys watching me?
Exithanter, the Lich, seems to be a little distracted, talking to himself in a corner. He seems to, every so often, he'll like hit his head and try to like snort the air, but nothing's like coming. He'll look into the box and he'll look back up. He'll say something about knowledge and power. Strahd is definitely looking at you, though.
So, could I perhaps Misty step through that crack?
100%, because you can see it.
Okay, then I'm gonna just zip on through.
I see. Okay.
I don't know where I'm going.
So zipping on through, there's piles of treasure heaped against the west and east walls of this room, and there's this 10-foot tall statue carved from amber in the likeness of this eagle-headed human, and just so much treasure here. And the expression behind you on Strahd's face, you can't quite see, but he does seem surprised in his voice, and he says, like, Ezra, what's wrong? There is a pair of stone doors in front of you, and they are closed.
Okay. And the statue's just a statue?
Yeah, it's just standing there. It's like in the middle of the room, so you would have just Misty stepped just to the side of it.
Okay.
Lots of 6 treasure piles around you, double doors in front.
Whatever about treasure. I'm just gonna like call back, like just seeing my other options, I saw something shiny, I just, how it is, and I'm gonna go to those doors.
Okay, they seem locked.
Oh crap. I can't unlock things. Are they stone, wooden?
They're stone doors.
Dang it.
They seem covered in that brown amber.
Oh, darn. Well, that defeats any thought process I had.
Ezra, if it is treasure that you desire, you can have it. I have stated, you can rule Barovia in my stead. You can have the entire treasuries, every tax season. Everything would be yours.
Yeah, but you know, curiosity killed the cat and stuff.
Be careful, Ezra Pheras. There are defenses in here that I cannot control. It is not my place.
I don't know how to unlock this door. I guess I have to go back.
Do you say that?
Under my breath, yes.
Okay. From behind you, the 30 feet back, it says, doors to knowledge and power locked. The keys, words, keywords, power, Daviton. And the doors in front of you click, and there is a swear from behind you.
Thanks, old guy.
And there's a swear behind you as Strahd turns, and you hear a very old voice tell him, like, I remember you. I thought I killed you. And you hear Strahd curse, and it says, Ezra, you have a choice to make. If you leave here, it will likely not be safe for us to return.
Well, you said us. That means you, and that's okay. And I'm gonna just go through the doors. I'm gonna probably die.
Yeah, okay. Let's leave you at that moment.
Yeah.
Anna, Toren, and Dantiir, you have come to the Solenka Pass there in South Barovia. This is a very cold stone edifice. It's like it would be like a bridge over a great waterfall and river if there were any of those things here. There is the wing beats of a giant rock, a great bird of immense and enormous size. And as you are there with the werewolves who are swearing curses at the great bird, behind you, from very scant trees, there are voices. And you can see very easily as the already cloudy day starts turning to dusk, there are torches being held. And Dantiir, up in the sky, you see not one, but a half dozen ravens, large, were lycanthropes, leading a group of villagers to your location. The werewolves around you are getting nervous as they are now stuck between a rock and a hard place, as these villagers of Vallaki, led by Victor Valakovich and the remaining Koliana sibling, and they've come to your
Oh wait,
aid.
is my boy coming to the rescue?
Ismark and Victor are both at the lead. 7 skeletal cats at the head of this crowd. And as they come up, they give shouts of encouragement as that they are here to take down the vampire lord once and for all.
Woo!
All right. Anna, Toren, and Dantiir, how do you use this knowledge in regards to, you've got 4 wolves and 2 werewolves with you. Also giant rock.
Who's
I would like to. Oh yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Who's directly next to me?
You are next to both werewolves, Alina and Kirill.
I'm gonna shank Kirill.
All right.
Yes. Because the second I see them, I'm gonna pop Spirit Guardians for everyone but Alina and the 3 of us.
Okay.
I'm just using my javelin because it's the only thing I have to shank someone with,
That's fair.
and I failed.
Oh no!
Dantiir is going to go to give a try as well.
Okay, give it a shot.
Okay. With his lovely magical sword. Let's see.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Yep.
Okay, with this magical sword, who are you attacking?
Kirill.
Okay,
Same
Kirill,
one she was.
very surprised at the magic that's coming into his thighs, his chest, his terrible, terrible body. That's a lot of damage.
18 radiant for anyone who doesn't make a wisdom save.
Let's see, I'm just going to treat that. What's your wisdom DC?
16.
Okay, all right. A lot of things happen at once. While Anna is stabbing, that Kirill is barely getting out of the way. Kendrick, Dantiir, Cuthilioni comes in with an ice rapier gifted from the Fae and pierces with a freezing blow, while spirit guardians stream around Toren and Alina and Dantiir and Anna, doing great damage to this werewolf. And taking opportunity, you see a great white bestial hybrid of a woman bite down and claw at her companion. And with this, Kirill is subdued just when the villagers of Vallaki and the remains of Little Barovia come upon you, and you have the advantage here.
How close were the other 3 werewolves to us? Because the Spirit Guardians has a 15-foot radius.
Oh, the little wolves? Okay. They're very close by. I could say that that's in there. Maybe roll down here. If they save, would they take half damage?
Yes.
Okay. So they took half damage, and Kirill, though, is not really good. And then when the other wolves see the entire survivors of Vallaki coming up the mountain, they do scatter. Okay, so you have one ally, you have one very wounded enemy. There is a great bird in the sky, and you have a village coming to help in this icy path. Back at Castle Ravenloft, Segrid, you are in the library, and there's a weird puzzle of spit hanging in the air before you, and Rahadin, who's gloating of just how great his master is. What do you do?
I think she's going to continue a conversation with them just along the lines of, since I've been here, I can't say I've seen anything great from your master.
And he hates that.
I saw a young paladin who, while a great fighter, is usually more concerned about her hair and makeup. Take him down. Basically put a tree through him. I was busy taking care of something else, but can't say I've been suppressed. And who would want to rule this sad, pathetic little podunk valley? I know I'd do a better job of it. What sort of armies are here? Where's the soldiers?
All soldiers who were here have been defeated and put to their own personal hells. Those fools at Argynvost, that mad wizard of Mount Baratak, there are no armies here anymore. Even if any paladin or mortal being was to wound the great Count Strahd von Zarevich, that was outside his place of power. He would have returned here. Castle Ravenloft is his home, his sanctum. There is no way for him to be defeated so long as this place exists.
And that's kind of sad. If I had his power, or any sort of power like that, it wouldn't be my first stop. Sad little castle in a sad little valley full of pathetic people. Yeah, he's a great ruler. I think he's a relic.
He is very upset at this and will respond like, "Soon you will get to witness what Barovian rule brings to the outside world then. Perhaps then you will get to see what sort of pathetic lives the world, the realms, will have."
Oh? Is he planning on being something other than a sad little ruler in a sad little place?
Rahadin will not take this. He demands that you take this back, but he's demanding it at sword point as he withdraws his blade and makes an attack.
Okay.
You are not surprised by this, so I'm going to say that if... what's your... Oh no, he's very fast. Give me a quick initiative roll.
Come on, Segrid.
I believe in you.
Okay, it's fine. Sigrid just sees it coming, like she was expecting this. So he has this very large scimitar, this curved, wicked blade that you haven't really seen elves use. This is not something, I guess, an honorable person would be using. And he strikes 3 times with it. This is versus your AC 27 and 18 and 21.
Oh yeah, he hit me. Whole lot.
Okay, so that's 31 slashing damage.
Oh my god! That's half of my life!
Yeah, yeah.
I need to grab a calculator. You said 31?
31. From 3 different attacks, if that counts.
I'm okay.
I can do this all night.
Okay, before you get your... I'm just checking. Yep, before you get your action, there is an interruption from Nimel at your side, and he says, "No! How dare you strike her!" And he has no weapons whatsoever on his person. But you see his newly sharpened, lengthened, natural vampire claws as he reaches for Radin. And Radin is not very impressed, as he does take a slash across the face, but blocks the others. And you Sigrid, get your move.
Alright, I'm gonna pull out my blood spear
Yeah.
and take 2 shots.
Oh yeah, that's definitely things.
What can I do with my bonus action? Don't remember my bonus action. I don't think I have an extra attack. Open my attack. No, I don't.
You see a great deal of blood coming off of Rahadin at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it from his face,
I'm going
most
to
of it from the blood spear.
Again.
There is...
Oh!
Yeah?
Fuck. I'm gonna rage. I forgot to do that first.
I think you were working that in. Give me that rage damage.
Okay. That's just +2 on each one.
Okay, doke.
So 4 extra damage.
Okay. So as Rahadin turns on you and Nimel, says, "You are not worthy of serving my master's cooking staff. I will end you here and now, and he will thank me for..." This sentence is cut off as a fireball flies through the door, directly targeted upon him. And it is a great one, you would say, somewhere higher cast than its usual level. And
Gracious, great balls of fire.
yeah. Yeah, he absolutely eats it. And as he is inflamed, you see a more pale, but certainly no less stoic, Aya Glenmere bursts through the doors from the bedroom. There is a trussed up brunette on Strahd's bed, and she has been gagged so as to not give any mention of what was coming. And she looks you, Sigrid, and Nimmel up and down, and Nimmel recognizes. It's like, teacher, you... It's like, Nimmel, I think I taught you better than this. We have only a little bit of time. Sigrid, do you mind finishing this job?
I'll take it. I'll just jam it right down through his... I'm going, like, straight through his... Well, through the eye socket into his brain, if I can. And
Okay,
twist.
there you go. He is... let's take this as a coup de grace. Give me a double damage. Nice. So that's a lot?
A lot.
That's double.
That's double. Give me another.
Dude, that's 64 points.
Yeah.
64 points of damage?
Yes,
You
and
said?
so you gain a lot of health back as Rahadin, the manservant, dies, burning and bloodied here on the floor of Strahd's study. And Aya says, "We don't have much time. I've been biding and waiting for my moment. I think it's come. I think something is happening." And Nimmel says, like, but you also became a vampire. You let him bite you, and I thought that's what we were gonna need to survive. I thought that's what we had to do. And she puts a hand on her very, very young student's shoulder and says, "You have so much to learn." And performs remove curse on both herself and Nimmel, and they're no longer vampires. And then she says to Sigrid, it's like, "I have something to show you." And you can find out where you go on next time as you get back to some more happy, fun times in Barovia.
What
Cool.
the heck?
Good work, everybody.
Dead. Yay!
So we're still split apart as a party, but I think you've accomplished quite a bit. Ezra, good work on making what choices you did.
I don't know what's going on.
You didn't kill some people. You didn't take a deal for good or for ill, and you're making your way through a dark temple. Sigrid, you didn't kill this little vampire lad, and now he's a person again.
Yay!
That's nice. That's a bit of victory. And Dantiir, Toren, and Anna, you absolutely could have taken revenge on everybody around you, and you decided to have some mercy, as well as direct control of the adventure. So, good for you. So the next time we'll see everybody, we'll probably all be very near the Amber Temple and Castle Ravenloft, and ever so closer for this group being whole again. And, well, there's a lich on the loose who's getting more and more of his memories back. There's a vampire lord who may have just had his best deal fall through. And
Making those.
That's
Not as
it.
intimidating as I thought.
Yeah, well, that's the real curse of Strahd. He's got, like, weak shoulders. And
No one buys his stuff.
And there is a champion who has full reign of Castle Ravenloft right now, with who has just taken out like the head of all the servants.
You should crash it. Crash the castle.
Dude,
There's got to be a control room somewhere. All right.
I fully support this.
Okay, and the room is yours, and that's where we'll end today's session. And so we hope we'll see you all on another happy, fun times in Barovia. It's definitely happening. See you guys.
Bye.